Hi everybody, this is KillRed40, and I'm here to talk about A Short Hike. When I saw the reviews for this game, I noticed a lot of people comparing it to Breath of the Wild, and I would have to say that that's sort of a good comparison. A Short Hike can be an incredibly short game if you just go through the motions and try to beat the game. We're talking about maybe an hour to 30 minutes of playtime if that's all you do. But as you go on this hike, you meet tons of characters with a lot of different quests and a lot of different objectives that you can do, and this is where the game really shines. Just like with Breath of the Wild, this is a lot less about the story and completing the game and a lot more about the adventure that happens in between. The plot is incredibly simple. You play as Claire, a bird that seems a bit lost in her life, and she decides to go camping with her Aunt May. She decides to go on this really long hike, and that's all you know at the beginning, and that's all you need to know for this adventure to start. For the first part of this video, I think I'm just going to keep it really vague on what this is about and what happens in it, because I think that this is the type of game that is best left to you just finding out what is here. A lot of this game and the fun in it is exploring the island and finding all of the different characters and what they want you to do. The dialogue is incredibly fun. I love all the characters. I loved just exploring the island and using the little items that they give you, and I liked the mechanics of it. One thing that I will mention is the feather mechanic, which I love the feather mechanic. It's where when Claire has to climb up rock walls, you have to have a certain amount of feathers, otherwise she runs out of energy. It's kind of similar to an energy bar, except it's a little bit more rigid in what you can and can't do. Now, I really like this mechanic because you have to find these golden feathers in order to gain more energy, and it reminded me a lot of the old Nintendo 64 games, such as Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie, where you had to collect different items just so that you could progress in the story. I think that if you're a retro gamer and you're looking for something to scratch that having a small world and platforming itch, this game will be for you. As I said, the world is very small, but it is stuffed to the brim with things to do, characters to talk to, and different abilities to collect. It's a ton of fun, and I think that if you haven't heard of this before, or if you haven't played it before, definitely go check it out. One more thing before I go on to the spoiler territory is I really enjoy the aesthetic of this. It looks like something that you would see in a DS game where it's all pixely and everything is moving. I think it looks great, and I loved seeing it on my computer. The music accompanies the visuals in an amazing way, and it creates this really relaxed atmosphere that lasts throughout the entirety of the game and whenever I boot it up. One thing that I've always wanted to do with COG is be able to show you guys a bunch of different games and show you guys all the different genres, and one thing that I always thought was missing was that nice relaxing genre, kind of like an Animal Crossing or a Sims, but I think I finally found it, and I can definitely recommend this to you. This game is perfect for a rainy day, or if you just want to be cozy during a snowstorm, or if you want a vacation from your life and you only want to pay $8. I think that this would even be great if you're feeling depressed. It's just an awesome experience, and it makes you feel really good to play. Go check it out now, and I'm gonna get into some spoilers. One of the things that I was going to critique before I finished the game was that I thought that Claire was a little one-dimensional and bland, and I didn't really understand why she was going on this hike. And thankfully, they answer all those questions at the very end of the game. We got to learn that she's kind of an anxious person and is very codependent on her mother, and this hike was a way for her to become less dependent on her. And I thought this made Claire very likable, and it was pretty sympathetic. This felt like the little ribbon on top of a nice present that just really completed the package of what this game was supposed to be. And even after the credits rolled, I continued playing. I went and I talked to all the different people, and I was able to find a bunch of different activities that I really enjoyed. One of which was called Stickball. This was very similar to volleyball, and it was just really simple, but it was a lot of fun to do it, and with this character who happens to be rich, and if you beat him a couple times, he gives you like 300 coins. It was a lot of fun, and I loved it, and the silliness in this game is the perfect amount so that you're not falling out of your chair laughing, but it still fits that relaxed atmosphere. Another one of my favorite parts is the closest thing that this game gets to an antagonist. Now, at the very beginning, you learn that you have to have these feathers to climb or fly. At the very beginning, the only way to really get these is to explore the bottom of the mountain or buy them from the visitor center. The visitor center only has 2, and the clerk there tells you why, and it's because this boy has come and bought all of them. About midway through the hike, you meet that boy, and he's selling the feathers now for 100 coins, which is ridiculously overpriced. At first, this rubs you the wrong way, and you really dislike this character, but as you continue to grind and get more coins and you buy all the feathers off of him, you learn that the only reason that he's doing this is because he needs more money for tuition. And I really liked this because it made our one-dimensional antagonist character really likable. Eventually, you can earn enough coins to help him with the tuition, and just once again, the way this game makes you feel is just so good. On top of hiking, flying, and talking to the residents, there's a couple other activities that you can engage in, such as racing or fishing. All of these are really simple, but I think effective, and this 30-minute game can turn into at least 3 hours. I would not be surprised if I returned to it. This, to me, is the perfect game to buy if you just cannot wait for that new Animal Crossing, and I think you should definitely run out, get it. It's only $8. You're gonna enjoy this. This is KillRed40 from The Colors of Gaming, signing out.